1975 seems like a long time ago, but for me it wasn't. Seemed like it was more like yesterday when I got into Yuma, Arizona as a drug enforcement agent, DEA. And I kept reading the information about two DEA agents, Don Ware and Roy Stevenson. They were kidnapped down in San Luis Sonora, Mexico by the Mirage brothers. They ordered these two guys, get them off the streets. They were there in San Luis to purchase black tar heroin. They were doing their jobs, and they believed in it.
Evil men don't understand justice. That's the focus of this podcast series. In this episode, Larry will talk about the attempted murder in 1975 that led to his involvement in the Mirage case.
What I experienced as a drug enforcement agent working that border for over 6 years. The DEA agents were right in the thick of it with the Mexican heroin drug traffickers in an investigation down in San Luis Sonora, Mexico, to stop the flow of heroin coming into the United States. This Mexican cartel already targeted those two agents. They were going to attempt to murder them. The confidential informant was ready to make a heroin buy from one of the brothers' traffickers. The DEA agents was in position. They were going to watch that CI make that heroin deal. These two agents never thought that that day things were going to go wrong. They were kidnapped from their pickup truck by a car full of bad guys from the Mirage Gutierrez organization. They were thrown back in the truck, and on the way out to the desert to be killed, Don looks over at Roy, said, "I can't move, I can't do anything. But you know what? My stub nose, 38, it's here." They forgot to take a look below the waistband. When the truck finally stopped behind a bus, Roy grabs the 38 from Don, crawls out, and he goes to the driver's side. The driver resists and tries to punch him. Roy shoots one round. He turns around, he's looking for Don. Don is no longer in the back of the truck. He's hopping over to an abandoned junkyard. And during that time, the car that was following him, full of bad guys from the cartel, they jumped out and they started shooting at Roy and Don. As they were being shot at by the bad guys, they played dead. And it worked. The bad guys took off. They were asking for people to help. No one helped. Eventually, several DEA agents arrived, and they took Roy and Don to the hospitals. When I got to Yuma in 1990, I asked Don. I said, "Don, I'm still a new agent with DEA. I am going to try to get into this organization. I'm going to go after these brothers because they ordered the killings of two DEA agents." That's how I got involved. So what did I do with that information? After I found out what they try to do, I called Phoenix, United States Attorney's Office. I'm going to meet with the Assistant U.S. Attorney. We're going to talk about opening this case up because I am going after those brothers. That's why I wrote the book with two PIs, private investigators, with Diane DeMille searching and helping me to go through whatever I can find. And with that information, I talked about it in the book. The book is going to explain in detail. That's what happened. I still can't forget it. After all these years, it still happened today as we're speaking right now. It's worse. It's worse than ever had been. This is not going to stop. The corruption, I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to learn what I learned, what kept me alive. I hope you continue to follow this because I'm going to get right to the point.
Thanks for watching. If you like what you saw, click like and subscribe below. And if you're enjoying the stories in these podcasts, click the link below in the description box to get more details. This is the end of this episode of Evil Men Don't Understand Justice. We hope you will join us again next week for more true stories from Larry and Randy. You will also enjoy Larry's other two books, Fighting My Greatest Enemy, Myself, and Home is Never the Same. These books can be found at pathofthedevil.com or larryrayharden.com.